Right, we'll make a start. Somebody wants to get back to the football.
They're not going to win anyway.
The oracle's just spoken. Welcome to this meeting here in Roscoe Town Council. To receive apologies for absence.
We have apologies, Mr. Mayor, from Lindsay Cox, Jason Hedge, and Janet Ward.
Okay. Declaration of members' interests.
You can ask them what they are.
Yeah, you got to see.
Circumstance committee member.
Okay.
Salkin, personal, I shall remain unmeetable, I won't vote.
Okay.
Same.
Chris.
Yeah, agenda item 9, planning. I'm a member of the planning board at Amber Valley.
Agenda item 9, I'm a member of the Amber Valley Borough Council Planning Board.
Yep. Okay. To receive and approve request of dispensation from members on matters in which they may have disclosable pecuniary interest.
None, Chairman.
Right, public speaking. A period of not more than 3 minutes per individual will be made available for the members of the public and members of the council to comment on any matter. So, yeah, as before, it'll be 3 minutes on the clock. Countdown.
First, Mr. Mayor, we have one from Dr. Stephen Kay. He can't get here tonight, so he's asked me to read his statement out. So he says, due to work, I'm unable to attend tonight, but hope the following can be read on my behalf. As a former town councillor, I'm pleased to see the positive steps this new town council is making. Recording meetings has been very positive, and hopefully a dedicated Heenan and Loscoe Town Council YouTube channel will be created. Perhaps also live streaming meetings on Facebook, as some other town councils do. Holding the last meeting at Loscoe was through circumstances here with the lift, but again it is a positive step, and perhaps meetings should alternate between here and Charles Hill. We are, after all, the parish of Heenan and Loscoe. It's disappointing that the creative thinking shown by the town council at the last meeting regarding asset transfer has not been welcomed by Amber Valley Borough Council. Only last week, Steve Reid MP expressed support for the transfer of assets such as the grammar closer to communities. I would encourage Heenan and Loscoe Town Council to escalate their request to Steve Reid MP, who recently replaced Angela Rayner as Secretary of State. It is good that members of the Town Council support the grassroots campaign to see the grammar proposals adjusted to provide a greater mix of community, small business and leisure space in the main building, as opposed to just the baby grammar and limited access to the grammar itself. Hopefully, by contacting Steve Reid for a meeting, this Town Council can make this happen and take the knockback from the Amber Valley Borough Council on the chin. It is good to see the Town Council looking to invite more groups to apply for grants, and perhaps a good next step would be to invite applications at the start of the next financial year, putting a call out for applications in February 2026, allowing a whole year of grants to be awarded at the first council meeting of the next financial year. My offer to help the Town Council with its regeneration plan and church lighting remains. I offer this as a private individual and in no other capacity. The new Town Council is making some positive steps, and I, for one, welcome these steps. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Right, Megan.
Alright, well, just written mine down actually, and I have 2 questions, but I'd like to know if you have any plans the council have got to get Heenan back on its feet. That's the first one.
Okay.
And the second one is why aren't the police patrolling the areas, which is it's definitely needed.
Thank you. Sue. Sue.
Sue.
Sue. Sue was the next one.
No, I'm not. No, mine ain't that.
Sue Fahey?
Fay.
Sue Fay.
Yeah, that's me, but.
Yeah, you've just signed the book to say that you wanted to speak. Sorry.
That was a mistake. I was,
Not a
just,
problem.
I was just sitting here listening to what you all have to say on what Megan has asked.
Yeah. Next one, Dave.
Right. I'm going to start before the clock anyway. Hi, my name's David Humphreys. I represent Sunnyside Football Club. We were formed in 2024 with just the men's team. Our vision is to make football accessible for all at the cheapest possible price with an aim to make it free at the point of access. We aim to do this with the help of local businesses, councils and grants made available to us. We now have 3 teams, a men's team, a veterans team and a kids under 14s team. At the moment, we are working with Shipley Parish Council on a project to develop Pit Lane, which hasn't been used for 15 years as it was going to be turned into an orchard and lost forever. Ena in Derbyshire is already short of football pitches and we have now managed to get the pitch up to a playable state and have secured funding for the next 5 years to develop the pitch with the FA up to a reasonable good standard. We have a 25-year lease on the site, which we have options to extend for further years. We hope to develop the site further and we're looking to get a fence around the pitch and a container/changing room, both at massive cost. The fence costs £32,000 and the container would be £15,000 upwards. For the fence we'd only need to secure 25% of the price because we can work with the FA and get grants through that. But that's still £8,000. We're looking for grants, investments from local businesses or councils to achieve and help or even a contribution, any contribution would be massively appreciated to turn the site into a safe for all place and a ground that we can all be proud of. That's it, thank you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Dave, how much did you say you were looking for?
Right, for the fence, it's £32,000.
Yeah.
But we only have to provide 25% of that because the FA will put in the other 75%, but that's still £8,000, which is a massive amount of money.
And there was something else you said as well. Was
The
there
container.
The
We're looking for a
container.
container/a changing room.
Yeah.
And like a proper one fitted out with showers, electrics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
About £15,000 upwards.
Right. Okay.
We have got something down at the moment where we are using for changing room, but it just it's just fit the
Are you
standard.
looking for 25%? Have you got to pay 25% for the container as well? Or
The container's slightly different because it depends whether it's a permanent fixing and stuff like that. Because they won't pay for anything that's not a permanent fixing. If it's temporary, then they won't. But we can sort of like go over the next more detailed stuff. If you invite us back to the next meeting to discuss stuff, you know what I mean?
okay.
Well, as people probably know, I'm on Shipley Parish
Yeah.
Council as well. We've seen the difference in the pitch up there.
And we have made massive strides.
Yeah,
I mean, we only got the keys to the ground for like April, and we weren't going to be using it for like 2 years, but we've managed to get it up and running.
And
We're
it's been
flying,
used
we're
a lot
flying at the
since-
moment, and we just don't want the momentum to stop.
Yeah.
So
If you
Ask them to fill in the form.
get a grant application
yeah.
sorted, and then we'll have a look to get it in. And Megan, we'll get back to you on those
Okay.
two. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lynn is the next one.
Hello everyone, my name is Lynn Cree. I'm here from Amazon CBS. I might use a bit of my time just to describe what CBS is because there's a lot of faces that I don't know here, which is great for me. We are based in Ripley, but we work across Amber Valley and we support local groups so we can grow. We support them with funding information for grants. We promote any volunteering opportunities. And there are other things that we do within our organisation, including the friending of all the people. My question is, how can CBS work differently with Queen and Gloucester Town Council for financial recognition of the work in your town and parishes that support these communities, the volunteers and the groups? I know that the council would prepare an application that is a distinct project, but I feel that we're not a project, that we're part of the infrastructure of Amber Valley. We've lost funding from Derbyshire County Council in this last year, and we never have had regular funding from any of the town or parish councils. And I think that that's something that I would like to persuade you to change. because it is critical for us to continue to offer all that we do without some security.
Yep. The last speaker is Dale.
Well, stand now.
I would just like to raise a bit of a request, really. It's from the meeting on the 3rd of July of this year, specifically regarding security and first aid at the meetings. It was stated by one of the council members that first aid is voluntary and therefore not needed to be given if someone is first aid trained. It was then agreed that the security and therefore first aid remain as it is, which I'm not saying I don't agree with, especially given what's been happening in local politics and wider nationwide politics and threats on people, so I do agree with that. But later on, it was then offered out for first aid training to all council members, which again was voted on and voted that yes, council members would be getting first aid training. Now to me, it seems a bit counterproductive that if we're going to use taxpayers' money to pay for first aid training for council members, that these members then have a choice whether to administer first aid. So what I would request, that if first aid training is given to council members using taxpayers' money, that at the beginning of each meeting, of those in attendance, a first aider is nominated, and that first aider has to administer first aid to anybody who needs it.
Thank you for that.
Can I just ask, please, that the security officers here who are badged are obviously first aiders, otherwise they wouldn't be badged officially. So whoever turns up here as a security officer will be a first aider. You may wish to clarify that, but if that is the case, then whoever is here as security will be the first aider.
Okay.
I throw that in.
Could I add on to mine then? If we're going to keep first aiding with the security, then taxpayers' money isn't used to train members.
No report, no. County Council.
So, first of all, the grammar. Really pleased that the town council is considering taking ownership of discussing it. I think that's quite a positive move forward. Derbyshire County Council are 100% behind it. Yeah, if that's what you decide to do, we're here to help in any way we can. Our concern is that the agreed lease, any amendments to the agreed lease could have substantial financial issues to address, but that's well in the future and we can work through that. But just so the people of the town know, it's not going to be a free transfer over in regards to Derbyshire County Council. If there's any changes to this. Let's see. Yeah, they don't see any major issues in just a transfer of ownership. I think that's on the 15th of September, Derbyshire County Council hosted a LGR Parish Council Forum, and invites went out to all parish councillors across Derbyshire. All invites went to all town clerks, and it was to be distributed to all council members. I was very disappointed that no members of Meeting were there. And it was a fantastic opportunity to meet the Police and Crime Commissioner to discuss possible funding and other community support organisations. So I don't know whether you want to mention any of that.
Yeah, I did receive an email for an invitation to that then. I found out about it on the day and mentioned it to me yourself.
I did confirm with Derbyshire County Council that the email did go out and was received. So it got lost in the ether somewhere. So,
I'm sure it did.
So yeah, we had a discussion with the Police and Crime Commissioners team in regards to the large amount of training for police cars tearing through the town, making the place sound like a gangland environment. So they're going to look into that, try and reduce that to somewhat. The actual police station itself, we discussed that it's frustrating that the people see police cars there, but they're not able to utilise the building. I'm hoping to come to some compromise with them to try and make some sort of community interface there, whether it not be an actual police desk, some sort of the community can meet up with. And let's see. I'm going back to that, the email list. I did ask that is it possible for the invites to go out to individual councillors, and they said the logistics of that is just too big. The names and the email addresses change so frequently, and data protection, it wouldn't be feasible to have everybody's email address on that list. So they relied on the town council or the clerk's office. That's about it, really. So, thank you.
Thank you. Borough Council. Well, this concludes the public speaking. If a member of the public interrupts the proceedings at any meeting, the mayor may, after a warning, order that he or she be removed from the council chamber or that part of the chamber open to public to be cleared. Okay. To confirm the minutes of the town council meeting held on Thursday the 4th of September.
Mr. Mayor, can I just let people know about minutes? The minutes that went out there were some errors in. You've been circulated tonight a set of minutes with a draft watermark on. The minutes are prepared by the clerk, and are the clerk work. They're not shared prior to the next meeting with any member. No member interferes in the writing of those minutes. That's why they're presented as draft, because they come to the town council to be approved as a correct record or amended by councillors. There's one further alteration that needs to be made to them, which is minute number 39. Councillor Lindsay Cock declared 3 interests, and unfortunately they've transposed from the previous set of minutes, because obviously we don't reinvent the wheel, we have a template. So if you can adopt the minutes that have got the draft watermark through with an amendment to the declaration of interest to reflect Lindsay Cox's interest that she declared at the last meeting. Thank you.
Is someone who wants to move that? Move it. Second it? Second it. Okay. Town Mayor's announcements. Very quiet. Apart from the grammar opening, I think very, very quiet. I think football coming up next month, couple of events, one in this building, for Dunstables. Next week actually, which is good because our daughter's at the Dunstable. So. Oh yeah, yeah, but there'd been nothing official, was it? Nothing sent to do. No, it just regarding a Facebook post from Hena Carnival saying that it won't be taking place next year, but we've had nothing official as yet to say that they're not doing it. I know we've put quite a lot of money into it over the last couple of years. But, you know, this is, if he doesn't want to do it, I don't know what else we can do. Yes, Mary?
Have we asked whether the marquee will be returned out the £8,000 that they've had from us, so that he's not continuing to make money off of the donation that he's had from us?
We haven't yet. I mean, so say we haven't had an official, anything official
And
saying
you've
that.
not approached them even after the statement?
Not yet, no. But yeah, there will.
And what are the chances of the council continuing to do the carnival?
It's an option.
Definitely so.
Yeah, something we have to look at. Maybe set up a carnival committee, maybe, I don't know.
That'd be a great idea. I think the council should seem to be doing more in the community rather than asking its community groups to do it for them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we'll look at it. Okay. Items for decision.
Mr Mayor, you've previously...
Just 1 minute, Andrew.
Yes, Mark. I ask if there's an item that can be moved to exclusion of the public.
I think we're talking, Chair, that the item on venues of council meetings, we've had a request from certain councillors that be dealt with in part 2, so that members can be frank in the discussions about meeting venues, security, etc. You'll have to vote on
it. Does somebody want to move it?
Move it.
Second it. All in favour of moving it to private? Yeah.
If I can ask the Mayor if he would allow a question from the public at this point?
No. Not really.
I mean, it is permitted, so.
No.
Not in the
Town Warden, we've talked in the past about appointing, if you like, a man with a van. We've come up with a Town Warden. There's a job description being circulated to members. There are proposals to hire a council van. Details of that have been circulated to members. It can be contained within budget this year because we put the money in for the full 12-month budget. And we're now coming up to, by the time it's actually in effect, we're probably down to the last 4 months of the financial year, but obviously it would need to be looked at for the budget next year and the precept. I'm suggesting that we adopt the job description that is put out, but you delegate the fixing of the salary scale to the clerk in consultation with the mayor, deputy mayor and one member of the Labour group. We need to go through the salary scales because we're comparing it with other similar jobs at other authorities, and there's quite a great range in the salaries, and we don't want to undervalue that post at the moment. Members will see that we've priced it at £13 an hour. I think we're probably looking nearer the £15 an hour for that job, and we'd like really to get on with that and get that done. So that is my recommendation to you.
Yes, Mark.
Can I just clarify 2 things? One, the £13 an hour would have the on costs of the pensions and things like that.
It would,
as
yes.
part of the local government, and also the contract is permanent. Is that okay?
Please, somebody want to move that? I'll move it. All those in favour? Yeah.
Next one then, Chair, after the discussions we had at the last meeting, we're recommending, having had discussions with Enid Football Club, that Council approves a grant of £3,000 to cover the cost of the fireworks for the Henry Garnet Festival. And in return for that, because it is a fundraising event as well, the club will give reduced entrance fees because they obviously don't need to raise the money to pay for the fireworks. I think it's had a lot of welcome praise on social media that the council are doing this.
Move it.
So,
yes, Mark.
Can I just ask another clarification?
Tell you about the meeting off.
Just about the how many attend and how that's recorded, just so that we know that it's value for money for what we're putting in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something we've always wanted to support, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes, Marie.
Was there an amount that was discussed in your meeting of what the reduced entrance fee would be? Or whether that would just mean free children?
No, he said he didn't want to do it for free on the gate. He says because nobody'd be on the gate then. And he said he wanted to have some control about who came through that gate.
I know there's been issues with kids going over the road before.
So he said it'll be a nominal fee. He hasn't said what, but
He was talking about donations, like charitable donations.
Yeah.
I was speaking to him, so
Yeah.
I talked to Glenn about it. So
yeah. Okay, somebody want to move on?
I'll second.
All those in favour? Okay.
Okay. Grant applications, Mr. Mayor. There are only two for consideration today. One from Salcare, one from Stepping Stones, which had circulated. We also note that we have received today a request from the First Hena Scouts. We're asking them to complete a grant application form and return it so that council can consider it properly. We also have received a grant aid form today from the 3rd Losco Brownies. And I think we're saying that is not on the agenda and therefore will have to be held over until the next council meeting. So it's really down to you to discuss, through you, Mr. Mayor, to discuss the two applications that you've got in at the moment.
Alan. Yes. Yes, Marie.
How much is there left in the grant budget?
£2,000.
£2,000. And we've got how many more new applications today?
2.
It's I think it's an open book, isn't it? Because you've heard tonight that we've got possible grant applications coming in from the football club. We've got CVS asking for money. We've got 2 here. All I can advise is the grant budget will need to be looked at for next year on how we actually give grants. And it is in your gift to use money out of balance us to give further grants. But in terms of the budget that was set for this year, you have £2,000 left, which is basically the money that the mayor put back into the pot from his allowance.
Does the grant go from April?
Yes.
Yes.
He was before me.
So the 2 grants, what are they for? What's the first one? Salcare, was it?
Yeah.
Was it £2,000?
Yeah, Salcare asked for £2,000 and we circulated some additional information in support of their request.
Yes. And the other one was 1,000.
And
We've
the other
got
one,
2,000 left in budget, yeah? Well, in the grants. So if we give Salcare £2,000, that means someone's going to go. They're going to go with that. But can we not split £1,000 to Salcare, £1,000 to Stepping Stones?
it's in your gift, Chair.
Yeah.
If I propose that,
There's three grants.
no, one stepped out. One's not being considered tonight, and that's infinite wellbeing.
Okay.
That's not being considered.
Yes, Eileen.
Well, my point, well, actually, the point that I've put my hand before first, how much have we spent up to now on grants?
8,000.
Something.
I think nearly 10,000. Now, the £10,000 budget, you've spent that, £2,000 was put back in by the mayor via his
We've just
mayor
given
allowance.
3, does that include the 3,000 that we've just given to the fireworks at the football club?
No, that'll come out of a separate pot because that's just a sponsored event by the council. Similar to come out the Christmas and
Right, no, that's
events
fine.
budget.
Yes, so we spent £8,000.
Anyway, we expect the budget allows more next year. This is the money we invest it back in the community.
Yes.
I'm speaking specifically on stepping stones. Nothing to do with Southgate. If we're only using all our budget now, then the other 5 grants that are coming to the next meeting, they might well not apply because we won't have any money. I mean, that's what the argument is.
Yeah.
Spend the grant money, therefore we might as well say to first lost Sunnyside and CVS, don't bother because we've used our grant budget. You can't have, you can't go both ways. You're either gonna that. You can't do both.
So what Andrew just said then about being able to take some from balances, how does that work?
You, as far as I'm concerned, you have balances. So if you spend your budget that's set out, budget is just a nominal head. It's a piece of paper that says this is how you're going to spend your money. You can buy money from other budgets in that overall budget, or you can decide to use money from balances. So if you chose to, you could decide at the next meeting to give another £10,000 out in grants. If the council agrees, it's got to come to council. Well, you can't use your grant subcommittee that we've got that deals with the thing. So it is basically, you can give this £2,000 out, you could give the £3,000 out, you'd go over budgeted to come out of balances, and you could still look at these grants next time on their merit, and if you decide you want to contribute, you can take money out of balances to pay them. But you have to, we have to report that you've spent your budget.
I'd like to see those that have not applied before at least get a fair shot at getting some grant money out of this.
Yes, Mark.
Can I move if we move £10,000 from general into the grants fund, so that we're not in this position because we have balances available. I think we should just move £10,000 across over to there, and then we've got the chance then of not. And then next year, when the budget setting comes, we can set a £10,000 budget for next year if we feel that's the way that it needs to go. But I think the need of HENA at the moment, with everything that's happening, I think
You can move 10,000.
Can I-
Yes, I did.
I would like to second Mark's motion because I think that is a very good idea. And also I would like to say that basically if we're going to do that, then I think we should give Salke the 2,000 and give Stepping Stones the 2,000 and then look at what those two. Is it
Stepping Stones are only asking for 1,000.
What? Sorry, yeah, 1,000.
I think
And look at those
if
two.
it's £1,000 in hospital,
And then
move the 10,000 out.
and then look at the two people that have applied today, one next time round.
So, all those in favour of Mark's proposal?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in summary, you've moved £10,000 out the balances into your grants budget. You've got £12,000 now that you can spend on grants.
Until April, is it?
Well, no, I think so you've agreed £2,000 and
So proposing that.
Sorry.
So it's been proposed to give Salcare £1,000 and Stepping Stones £1,000.
Come on, that's not.
I would like to object to that because I know that it looks on the books that Salke have got £110,000, but most of that money they've got is ring-fenced for the domestic abuse work they do. And they do a heck of, it's all given as grants, but it is ring-fenced. And I think it really is very bad on a lot of the councils here who have written up on Facebook to say they want to help the people at Ena. They're going to let the children and adults starve because they're not helping Salke. They're just giving up half of the money that they want. And I think realistically, the good work that Salke do, at £2,000 is not enough.
Well, then the stepping stones do good work as well. They do work with outside.
Well, give the stepping stones £2,000 as well then.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's good work
Southgate
they
don't
do.
just get funding, they get food delivered from supermarkets and everywhere else to help with their food parcels.
I just think it's bad that the council.
Well, we're not, unfortunately, we're not going to agree on everything. And
No, I
looking,
agree.
looking at their books, they've increased by another over £11,000 since the last time that they asked.
Yeah, and it's probably
whereas
ring-fence money.
stepping stones have literally got the money just to cover what their overheads are. Yeah.
Right, that's the proposal that's on the table at the minute. So,
I'll second
all,
that.
all those in favour?
No. I don't believe it. Don't believe it.
You need
Those
to ask
against?
how many people against.
Yes,
I vote against.
Can we have this as a recorded vote?
It's too late.
So who's for it? So it's recorded, so who's for it?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Hang on. Right, recorded vote.
Sorry, but point of order. I've said I will abstain on the Salcare vote, but I want to vote on the stepping stone one. So I suggest you have 2 votes.
We have to have 2 votes, don't we?
No, they're just going to vote on whether they both get 1,000 or not.
£1,000.
Okay, so the £1,000 for stepping stones. All those in favour?
Yeah.
Okay. And now the £1,000 for Salcare. All those in favour?
That's recorded.
We'd already done that one.
And that's the recorded.
It's a recorded vote. Just recorded vote. 11 members of the independents are in favour. Go through. Those 4, 4 against, please. Alan Abernethy.
4.
Steve Bauer. Mark Burrell, no, he won't, he's not here.
Sorry, I'm not here.
I'm reading the wrong list here.
4.
Laura Brunelleschi.
4.
CD Cox. Cox not here. Marie Cresswell. 4 or against. Tony Crowley.
4.
Is he here? No. Chris Emmers Williams.
Against.
Joanne Gent. Sam Goodrum.
4.
Eileen Hamilton. Malcolm Hibbard.
4.
Sean Hind.
4.
Mark Howard.
Against.
Anne Jones.
Abstain.
Paul Jones.
Abstain.
Chris Neal.
Absolutely against.
Alex Stevenson.
4.
Eleven for, 5 against, 2 abstentions.
That's right this
Motion
time.
carried.
Somebody wants to check his maths.
Yeah, they've
Check his
definitely
maths
right
as
this
well.
time.
Let him off with.
Done them 3 times.
You can use the toes at the time.
Yes. Okay.
Next one then, Chair, is the Town Hall and Citizens Advice Bureau door entry system. There has been a lot of problems over the last few months, particularly at Citizens Advice Bureau, of people coming into the office and causing distress and abuse to workers there who often work on their own. What they'd like to do as part of their lease is have a door entry system that they can see who's come and made an appointment, and that they can check who's coming in before they just admit. They can just do that once over and make sure the person's got an appointment and deal with them. And to be honest, it would be a good idea in terms of the council office too. We could have some seats in reception where people could be told, sorry, can't come just now, could you take a seat for 2 minutes? So we've circulated some costings. We're talking about £1,300 to be able to put that in. That will come out of balances again, and we'd really like to put that in as soon as possible.
Oppose it.
Second. All those in favour?
Yeah.
And against?
Next one, then, Chair, is speed indicator device request. The members who were on the council 7, 8, 9 months ago will recall that we had a request from a member of the public on High Street for a speed indicator device, and that was turned down on the basis that the council said speed indicator devices are the responsibility of Derbyshire County Council. The Highway Authority, once you start putting a speed indicator device in through the town council, as soon as you get one in, you'll be asked for another 5, 6, 7. Where do you actually stop? So it was refused, and the chap has come back, basically following a change of political control here, to say, can I have that decision reviewed? It's allowed to be reviewed after 6 months. So again, what I'm saying to you is, my recommendation is that it is not a matter for Hena and Losco Town Council. They should take it up with the Highway Authority. And so I would recommend refusal. However, it is in your power if you wish to do that. But bear in mind, you're talking about £3,000 worth of expenditure to do that.
No, Mark.
It is the Highways Department that needs to be doing this, not us.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Can we put a recommendation to highways for?
Sorry?
Can we put a recommendation into highways for this gentleman?
Highways have indicated that they do not have the money to be able to do this. All they can do is give us permission to install. The county council just don't have the funds to be going around putting speed indicator devices everywhere. They rely on town and parish councils to help with that burden if they want them. I think Highways would also say that they believe that the benefits of having a speed indicator device at that area are pretty much negligible. I can't say it. So.
Access.
Yeah. I mean, we can write to them and refer them, but it's been referred. It's been backward. This is a request that's been going backwards and forwards with Derbyshire County Council and Hena Town Council for probably 15 years.
Can I propose then that we follow Andrew's recommendation, because I think it is very truthful. I mean, if we do put one in, I can guarantee where I know at least 2 or 3 other places in Hena that I'll get requests for, can we have a speed camera down here, Eileen, they go here, I'll just a racetrack. So
Unless that's something Derbyshire County Council could you up with this.
Yeah.
Recently, the Police and Crime Commissioner at that thing said that any speed control systems, you'll have to gather the data under like a voluntary, so like members of the community will log how many speeding cars. They will offer the training and they will offer the equipment to document the speed. If you can get the volunteers to do it.
They've spent, you'll spend more money to train people to do it. Well, probably not.
Yeah, they will train you to do it. You can document how much is needed in that particular street, and then they'll
That's already happened. We've already done that because Mark was on it as well. And what we were told clearly, there's only one street in Hena that would ever meet the criteria where you could actually stand as a pedestrian and use a speed gun.
Yeah.
Because you have to have certain clear lines and everything.
Yeah.
So you can't gather the information for the other places where it speeds because it doesn't meet the criteria for using community speed guns to actually register the speed they're going.
Yeah.
So it's through text.
To be honest, I don't think that works. I don't think any of those work. I think it's education, isn't it? You know, they want to be watching firemen cutting people out of cars and stuff. That works.
Move the clerk's recommendation.
Okay, somebody want to second that? All those in favour?
Next one, Chair, is just to let you know through my delegated powers, emergency works that have occurred between the last meeting and now, a repair to the fire station roof that suddenly collapsed and we had a load of tiles off. That cost £750. And then we had a very large tree at Blue Lane allotment collapse. We had to have that taken away. That cost £1,600. I think it's getting quite common because I've now got 2 trees at Cobham and 1 at Langley Mill that have gone down in the last few days as well. So I don't need permission to do that, but just for the sake of clarity, I've decided to report it to you in a minute that we've spent £2,350 on emergency repairs.
Okay. Alan. Yes, Mark.
Sorry. Just on that, will we be replacing the trees?
We didn't intend to.
Right,
At this time, it was a diseased old tree.
But could put a new one in it.
We
in the area.
Propose it.
Can we put a new tree in to replace the mature tree that's matured and died?
Yeah.
I'd like to second that.
Yeah, second of all those in favour. A new tree. Do we know what kind of tree it was? Yeah.
And actually, I'd like to point out, that you'll probably have to get somebody to check this up, but there is a scheme going where you can actually get
free trees
and plant them, can't you, from the Woodland Trust or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So maybe we could look into that for this area as well. To be honest.
If you have a word with Derbyshire County Council, I believe that there's a scheme. They don't run it, but they have access to it that gives free trees for planting.
Derbyshire County Council. And I don't think you pay, do you, Mark, as well?
Okay.
Yeah.
Chair, then the community governance review. It's just really to draw to members' attention that there is a community governance review. It's the first stage of it by the Borough Council. The details are on the website, giving you the links there. What I'm suggesting is before the formal consultation comes out at the next stage, if members are interested, they could go on to the website and give their individual response about a review that in the future may amend parish boundaries, create, merge or abolish parishes, the naming of parishes, electoral arrangements, council sizes and grouping of parishes. So I think it's really worth having a read of that because eventually there will be a formal document come through for the town council to comment on. Next one, Chair, meeting venues. You've moved that into private session. So that leads us on to 3 matters raised by Councillor Alex Stevenson.
One of them is a defibrillator for the Peatburn estate if the council can approach highways to get approval. The budget for that would probably be around about £2,500. Weed control would come under the man with the van. And then the other item is purchase of snow machines and the Christmas lights for to be funded for Univision.
Can I just, whereabouts on the Peatburn estate? Was I was
If
just
you contact Highways, we can find out which lighting column we can have it on.
Can you put defibrillators in writing?
It's further down.
It's all right, no, it's just I'm quite used to seeing them on the side of buildings.
Yeah. Just put a galvanised box at the side of it and the power's fed from the post.
Because all defunct telephone boxes, telephone poles. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
Well,
just 1 minute.
can I have some questions before?
Where are the locations of the defibrillator that are near the Peatburn already? Is there one at Enigate School? Is there
Baptist
one-
Church.
The Baptist Church.
There's one at
There's
Sunnyside
one
Club.
at Sunnyside Club as well.
Yeah.
It's walking distance, isn't it? But if it's an emergency as well, it's too far away to get into.
Yes, ma'am.
About a year ago, we were upgrading the defibrillators that we had to include the bleed box at the heavy bleed areas. If this is going ahead, would you include a heavy bleed for this as well, if that was
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Especially after this week's.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that if members are going to put requests in, that we actually have the budget and costings before we actually come to the council meeting, and also be made aware of what budget heading it's coming out of. So we're making decisions that's based on actually how, rather than have the debate again when we did about grants, about the money's run out of, so we know what's happening. In respect to defibrillators, yeah, I mean, the town council, we did have 3, but one of the people pulled out. Is this going to end up being carte blanche that somebody decides Langley they want a defibrillator, somebody down at Oscar wants a defibrillator? Nothing wrong with that, but where do you stop? And we have to register these and we have to maintain them. So there's an on cost with that as well. So if you're going to do it, surely, God, I'm going to contradict myself now, you ought to put a budget aside for providing defibrillators. So you have if you're going to do it, you might have a rolling programme rather than just have ad hoc requests coming in. Because that just ends up people saying down Greenacres, well, why I got one, or it escalates because people feel that, like a lot of things, people feel that they want it. So if we decided to look at having a budget, then we say you can make a request against that for defibrillator and for the stab vet thing, then that would be much more progressive. But we also need to be conscious of actually the maintenance on, because when the one on the fire station was used, that disappeared. I don't know where, and then there's the maintenance of the batteries, and then sometimes I think you register them as well. So we need a whole profile rather than just having a line saying get a defibrillator. Where's the location? Who's going to? There's that whole infrastructure behind it that we need to be sure of.
Yes. I did ask Kerry all that what you just said. Did she provide any information?
I've not seen it. That's what I'm saying. All I've seen is a line that said purchase of defib.
Yes.
We also need a map of where they are in the area, because I can tell you where 2 are, but we need a map so the people who need a lost skirt, wherever, probably know where they all are.
I mean,
Marie's got her hand up. Just 1 second.
Pretty much following up on what Joe said, we need to collate a list and perhaps actually put a map so the residents know where the current ones are.
I suppose we could see spots where
We've got blanks.
I mean,
walking distance between.
the weed contract, the man with the van. Now, I mean, I know we've been talking about this around the valley for God knows how many decades. That's all very well saying he'll do the market, but the idea behind the man with the van originally was to actually deal with hotspots elsewhere. And the borough of the county have responsibility for market. So what we're having is we're paying the council tax for the county to do the market. We're paying the council tax to Amber Valley to do the market. Now we're paying more to do the market. There's other areas in Hena that have significantly worse weed problems than Hena Marketplace. So it's about really proportionality. Why is cleaning the marketplace can't be cleaned up? And on the snow machine, I wasn't quite clear what the idea. Are we going to purchase that out of our budget at Christmas? The funding, the budget we've allocated at Christmas for that. And can I put a caveat on that if anybody else wants to borrow it, we charge them a rent for it? Or somebody's going to come and say, we have an event, can we have your snow machine? Well, yeah, but there's a charge again. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, I've always provided them free to the town council over the last 8 years until they were all lost in the flooding.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, this is, there was money,
Yes, Marie.
One of my questions was, well, Alex has just answered it, he's provide them free. The second question would be, who would maintain the machines to make sure they're in working use every time?
There's very little maintenance on them. There's self-cleaning. It's like a cleaning that goes through.
It's just water, so.
Yeah.
You know, with the man with the van, I was on the understanding it wasn't just for the marketplace anyway.
But what I'm saying is he's doing the marketplace when two other local authorities are supposed to do, and it can't be elsewhere, can it? Because there's only so many days in the week for anything.
Last time you saw the Valley or Derbyshire County Council, the marketplace sweeping up and roads.
The point, Mr. Mayor, is that the parish warden can't use weed killer on the public highway without the permission of Derbyshire County Council. It's illegal. And the parish warden cannot go spraying on the marketplace without the express permission of Amber Valley Borough Council or Derbyshire, whoever's actually responsible for that part. So there's certainly some work to be done there in terms of getting a parish board and having them trained and getting them approved by the appropriate authority. It can't just go straight out and spray chemicals that goes into the water or even damages the curbside. So we will have to look at that.
So all these will be moved to.
Can I just ask,
Yeah. Yes.
Francis, how much is a snow machine?
Which one have we looked at? Was it £5,000 too?
I've not looked at any.
Oh, right. Kerry's got the information.
Then in that case, can I propose that it comes back to the next meeting when we know how much it's going to be? Because, I mean, if you'd asked me, I'd have probably said £1,000, but I don't know. So can I propose that the snow machine item back to the next meeting?
I'll second that.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favour?
And can I have a picture of one as well? I don't know what I'm buying.
Can we play with it?
Bring it in and demonstrate.
Can we also defer the purchase of a defibrillator until we've collated a list and map of the current ones that we have?
I'll second that.
Yeah.
If we have a report come to the next meeting so we can have the idea about the programme and the budget and all. It's tidy to get on to.
Yeah, I'll do it before this.
Right, Chair, Finance.
According to
there
the
is
internet, there's 10 defibrillators in here at the moment. There's a map with them all on. There's 10.
Well, I think the thing on defibrillators, they're all registered on the circuit. So when people dial 999, the ambulance service, the emergency services direct the person to the nearest defibrillator. So they don't argue that you need maps, that you need to tell people where they are. They argue that
It's more about getting
when
more
they're
out,
used,
more
they tell them where they are.
If
and
you don't
how
keep
to
an app,
control
the
it.
closest one is
Because if
church.
everybody goes and uses
Could be dead by the time you get to church. There's one here.
We've had a couple of local authorities where the defibs have just gone missing because somebody's guessed the code. So on finance, you've had the back payments for August 2025, you've had the income for August 2025, and you've had the bank reconciliation. It shows you how much is in balances, which is at the bottom there. And you've also had the external audit report, which basically is a clear report, although the auditor makes a comment about exact wording he uses. The smaller authority has not provided evidence of consideration of risk management arrangements by the whole authority during 2024-25. This is requested as part of our intermediate review procedure. That comment simply relates to the fact that the documents on the website, even though they've been to council, don't have a review date on that says 2024-25. So it's not a big issue. The statement at the top is on the basis of our review, proper practices have been carried out and we've got a pretty clear audit. So if you could note that we have published by the deadline, the conclusion of audit. Right there.
I'll move those two.
Just second, yeah, all in favour? Yes. Okay. Planning.
Forrest has kicked off. 2-0 down, mate.
No, not yet. We haven't started.
That's them picking ball out the back of net already, isn't it? Right. Planning. AVA 2025 0655 32 Losco Denby Lane, Losco. Removal of front wall and side hedge to front of property and creation of vehicular access. AVA 20... Oh, sorry, Mark. I should have expected.
Sorry. I think that's one for highways, really, because of it going onto a road with vehicle access.
Yeah. AVA 2025 0649 20 Thorpe Hill Drive, Morphall. proposed single-storey rear extension.
Yeah.
AVA 2025-0643, 12 Brook Street, Loscow. Replacing existing timber garage with an outbuilding.
So it's that, just replacing the garage.
Yeah, I think so. It's garage for garage. Yeah, just a garden.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's the end of the public meeting.
The move to exclude is invalid. There was no legal reason given why the venues was taken from open public, which is now being excluded. You did take a vote, and I completely get that, but there was no, what is the reason, what's the category for moving it from open public to excluding public?
Confidentiality. I'm happy to do it in the public view, to be quite honest.
I mean, Andrew, would you please give the categories of why the public can be excluded and find out if it meets those categories?
I think the council has passed the resolution. I'll give you an explanation in writing, sir.
I'm sorry, and then it's invalid. You know that. It must have a reason given in the meeting.
It's to do with staff security and staffing.
What we're hiding from.
It's to do with staffing in the main, sir.
I thought it was a venue option.
It's to do with staffing and venues. It's about venues. It's about security. It's about.
I'm absolutely happy with that. If it's staffing, absolutely fine with that.
It's to be just basically, you know, to be clear, the request has been made so that members of the council and staff can talk openly about recent events, recent meetings, and how meetings are run and how they feel in terms of security, safety and security. So they want to be able to have that frank discussion so that we can decide what is an appropriate
That's
venue.
not a legal category for excluding public.
So I'm recommending to I'll take it on there. The council have passed a resolution. It's going into part 2, sir. And the mayor has
That's
asked
a
the
resolution
members.
that's invalid because there was no legal category given.
Well, take that up then, sir. So shall we move on?
Yes.
So we're excluding the press and public.
Yes. Yes. Right, so that's the end of the public part of the meeting then.
Yeah.